Here's your wrestling news for August 31st, 2021. And your headlines for today include: Bobby Lashley gets overwhelmed on WWE Raw. Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair apparently started shooting on each other during WWE Raw match. Both wrestlers trend after rough match on WWE Raw. Backstage details on Sasha Banks' current status with WWE. Adam Cole is officially out of WWE. WWE sent out mass email about Adam Cole's departure. Pat MacAfee and Adam Cole exchange jabs. Rikishi reacts to WWE signing his youngest son, sends message to Roman Reigns and the Usos. Karrion Kross's dominance continues on WWE Raw. Jinder Mahal drops down, while the Viking Raiders take a step closer to Raw Tag Team title contention. What happened to Alexa Bliss? Why did she give WWE Raw a miss? Braun Strowman teases Wednesday announcement on his future, and more. We're kicking off today with WWE Champion Bobby Lashley, who is looking to add more championship gold to his waist. Confronting US Champion Damian Priest, Lashley was confronted by RK Bro, while Drew McIntyre and Sheamus were all in the ring, making for an impressive visual on Raw. Lashley had his sights set on being a double champion, whether it be with the US title or the Raw Tag Team titles, and accepted Riddle's open challenge for RK Bro's tag titles. The main event of Raw saw Riddle and Randy Orton defend their tag team titles against Bobby Lashley and MVP, and it was made clear that the WWE Universe loves RK Bro, and aligning with the Viper could even be the ticket to the original Bro's future singles stardom. For now, WWE should keep going with it because they're one of the hottest acts in the company, as RK Bro are a proven highlight each week. It was Riddle who got the pin on MVP for the win, but his celebration was short-lived, as the original Bro was leveled post-match with a spear, but the almighty champion was dropped with an RKO. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, as Lashley isn't short of contenders, and right now, the two favorites are Raw Tag Team Champion Randy Orton and US Champion Damian Priest. We also can't forget the rumors of Lashley vs. Goldberg 2 at Crown Jewel, which would mean Lashley will be keeping the title until October at the very least. We shouldn't forget that Big E has a guaranteed world title match as well, and though Mr. Money in the Bank wants to dethrone Roman Reigns, he could also have Lashley in his sights. Whatever the case, Lashley has plenty of potential opponents, making for a hectic and interesting title picture, and time will tell who eventually dethrones the almighty WWE Champion after such an impressive reign. Last night's Raw also saw Charlotte Flair face Nia Jax in a bizarre outing that seemed more like a shoot fight than the staged pro wrestling match fans came to see. The constant shooting made for an awkward watch that several fans on social media called out, as did WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley. On Twitter, Foley asked what was up with the Charlotte-Nia match, and you know you've done something wrong when the King of the Deathmatch isn't appreciating your stiff in-ring style. The awkward spot saw Jax and Flair trade slaps and blows on multiple occasions, and fans noticed that both women seemed genuinely frustrated. At one point, Flair ran into the ropes and stopped a Samoan drop, but executed an awkward Scorpion Death Drop on her opponent. Both women looked completely out of sync, and it's left fans wondering what they were thinking when they had this match. Their strange performance even led to both women trending on social media, and on Raw Talk, Nia said that she splattered the Raw Women's Champion and is deserving of a title opportunity, branding herself the future Raw Women's Champion. With Jax getting the win, it's likely that she'll receive a Raw Women's title match soon, and we can only hope that they have a much better rematch after last night's bizarre fight. Now at SummerSlam, Sasha Banks was meant to challenge for the SmackDown Women's title, but that match never happened. Banks' absence at SummerSlam came after she was pulled from several live events, including the go-home edition of SmackDown, and fans shouldn't expect to see her just yet. According to PW Insider, Banks isn't on the road with WWE last weekend and still isn't touring, and it's noted that she won't be returning in any capacity this week. WWE have yet to explain what is keeping the boss from the ring, as her absences have been described as due to unforeseen circumstances, but it's believed she may have tested positive for C19. The current hope is that Banks will be able to return by September 10th when SmackDown returns to Madison Square Garden, but everything hinges on her condition, and we're continuing to send our best to the former women's champion. Last Friday, Adam Cole's contract ran out and he's officially a free agent with no non-compete clause to his name. Losing Cole is a big deal for WWE, as he was one of WWE NXT's biggest stars, and his departure is something the company wanted everyone employed to know about. That's according to PW Insider, who report that WWE issued a mass email to all employees, letting them know he's no longer with the company. We'll have to see what Cole does next, as AEW, Impact, and every other promotion would benefit by having the former NXT champion on their roster, and though he could always return to WWE, the Undisputed Era member is currently wrestling's hottest free agent. Cole is currently without a job, but we expect he'll be back in the ring soon enough, and until then, he could always go work for SmackDown commentator Pat MacAfee. On Twitter, MacAfee offered the former NXT champion a legit contract to be the assistant to his podcast producers Ty Schmidt and Boston Connor, offering $22,000 a year and the chance for Cole to build his resume. Cole, who defeated MacAfee in the latter's debut match, did play along before responding with a curt "I hate you," as the former NXT champion won't be fetching coffee for MacAfee's podcast now that he's out of WWE. Recently, it was reported that WWE is focusing less on indie wrestlers and more on younger, crossover athletes they can train to be superstars, and now a very interesting name has joined the company. This week, the WWE has signed Joseph Fatu, the younger brother of Jimmy and Jey Uso, who's also the son of Rikishi. On Twitter, Rikishi said he's especially proud of his son and encouraged fans to follow his journey and watch him grow as a WWE superstar. Nicknamed The Problem, Joe first wrestled in 2018 and has been working for a few independent promotions and made headlines when he teased joining AEW in December, even having a brief exchange with Cody Rhodes. The arrival of another Fatu in WWE has naturally led to questions about the bloodline, and fans shouldn't be surprised if Joseph is accelerated to the main roster to join the ranks of the Usos and Roman Reigns. The fact that he's already been trained, by a Hall of Famer no less, will certainly help Joe move quickly up the ranks of WWE, and we'll have to see how his career fares as WWE's newest contracted performer. Back to Raw, and Karrion Kross was in action last night, picking up yet another win on the Red brand. Destroying Humberto Carrillo, WWE is finally getting things right with the former NXT champion after his main roster tenure started off wrong, as rumors persisted that his losing in his debut was a message to the NXT roster. When superstars don't have a program, it's good to have squash matches against smaller stars, as it's a tried and tested formula that'll get Kross over to a certain level. However, there'll have to be a time when Kross faces main roster talent in actual matches instead of squashes, and only then will he be able to move up the card. For now, Kross is picking up wins and being pushed right on Raw, something most superstars could only dream of. If there's one big issue with Raw's tag team division, it's the severe lack of tag teams overall, and this week it was Jinder Mahal and Veer who faced the Viking Raiders. Surprisingly, it was Mahal, the former WWE champion, who took the pin in this short match, making it clear that WWE isn't planning on pushing him despite various reports. Secondly, it's clear that the Viking Raiders have taken a step closer to the Raw Tag Team titles and could be challenging RK Bro at next month's Extreme Rules. As for Mahal, his star has fallen considerably since losing to Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, and we'll have to see if the WWE ever plans on pushing him to the main event scene he occupied back in 2017. At least Mahal was on last night's Raw, which is more than can be said for Alexa Bliss, despite her being one of WWE's biggest names of the past year. Bliss's absence is all the more bizarre considering she recently set her sights on the Raw Women's Championship, and now we know where she was. When a fan tweeted Bliss saying they hope she's okay, Bliss responded saying she's fine, and in a follow-up that Oklahoma City is nice. Last night's Raw was in Oklahoma City, as Bliss discreetly confirmed that she was present for Raw, just not booked. Instead of being tormented by Bliss, Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair faced Nia Jax, losing to the Irresistible Force in non-title action. After a year as one of Raw's biggest stars, the decision to not book Bliss is unusual, especially as we draw near to Extreme Rules and the inevitable title match between Bliss and the Queen. Bliss was conspicuous by her absence during last night's Raw, and despite not being booked, the former women's champion was able to enjoy herself in Oklahoma City. On social media, her fiancé Ryan Cabrera shot a short video of Bliss manning the DJ booth, and though it appears she didn't actually touch any buttons, we have to wonder how much button pushing real DJs do sometimes. With a permanent smile on her face, Bliss pumped out a remix of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song, a tune that is burned into the memory of countless people, including the former women's champion. Bliss only recently said she'd love to give acting a try thanks in part to her character work over the past year, and we'll have to see if she trades in her wrestling gear for a trendy DJ outfit down the line. And we're ending today with Braun Strowman, who WWE released this year as they didn't want to keep paying his $1 million contract. Today, Strowman will be free of his non-compete clause, which he's compared to being in prison, and the former Universal Champion isn't wasting time with the next phase of his career. On Twitter, Strowman said Wednesday at noon, as it seems he's ready to make an announcement on what's next for him in the ring. For what it's worth, it's been reported that Strowman is set to join Impact Wrestling and will debut as Titan at their upcoming Bound for Glory pay-per-view, but we'll have to see what Strowman himself has to say when he makes his big announcement tomorrow. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.